TV with Dr. MB. Let's get started with your reading. And that we shall. All right, welcome to the collective. We are gonna dive into this. It's some good stuff. It's like deep. I sat with it. It's one of those situations where I shuffled it out. I looked at it. I said, this is interesting. I let it come to me. I went and did something else. Came back to it and I was like, let's go. Because I want to articulate it properly. And it's crazy how no matter what deck I used, the similarities were insane. So we're going to start at the top. We have the shadow, past energy, the shadow, the destroyer, the eternal child, present, the threshold, gnosis, and the sword. Potential future, outcome or advice. We have the flame, the vision, and the village. Accompanying the subconscious, past and future, we have something in your heart in the past, and we have a transformation in the future, an ending, spirit speaking or connecting with you, because there's a little bit of homesickness here. There could have been losses as well, because the mother came up, the father came up, a few things came up, and the eternal child came out with a card that just signifies like a need to have healing, like deep healing, in like childhood traumas, like severe childhood traumas, or just like the lack of having support or people around you. Definitely understand that. That's not the gist of the shadow work, so don't think this is going to be just like finger pointing at those of us that may have like had limited support. Nope, totally not that. It's just about who we've become through some of those things, from social norms and the lenses of the world. What is good and bad, true and false, right and wrong, what we think that is, things that are within us that may have gone hidden or that we've hidden, okay? Aspects of ourselves that react in certain situations a certain way that may be outside of our higher selves. We have some inner knowings, and it's time for some of us to move forward in life, like in who you are, in what you're doing, in what you accept, in the process, in your purpose. There's an inner knowing, and even deep down in the subconscious, I thought that was interesting. You have an inner knowing in the heart, the child, the flame, your passions, who you are, your actual soul, your energy. And then subconsciously right here, the foundation is like truth. So it's like some of us know, others of us, there could be questions. The true nature of someone in the environment could show, especially if there's like an intimate partnership there, family, friend, whatever the case may be. And then there's either the change or the ending, because for some of you this situation has happened, and maybe this person is like going through stages of self-destruction, because this truth or this inner knowing, it can't be ignored. Even when we refuse to see, it is a very bright light that stays in our mind and on our mind. You could be that, your innocence and your essence, and it happens. So there could be some shadow work in a situation. For sure. Our bonus cards, we have the Great Serpent, the Ouroboros, okay? And it's also kind of similar to when I thought of the shadow next to it with the Death card here in the Village. I feel like shadow work for some of us helps to activate the Kundalini energy, or it could put you in alignment to take a step towards it, which ultimately brings you into your true self, or just the truth, some truth that you guys are looking for, or answers that you may have. So I thought that was super cool. With the Great Serpent, I did see like the yellowing and the redding come out, and when I looked at the yellow and the red, it was pretty close in the top region of the body. So if I'm thinking about the spine and the Kundalini energy, there's something that's like almost, like almost evolved. It's almost there because it rises, and that's pretty far up, right? Considering that it starts here, even though traditionally like the red, yellow, orange, it's like the root, it's like starting from the bottom. But in this case, nope, I'm not. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I said that that's pretty high up. Now that I say it out loud, the past energy, any traumas, the relationship, the blocks, unanswered questions, or things that have like infiltrated some of our essence. It's a lot of past energy in the sacral and in the root, and notice that here we have a lot of those colors. So we could be in progress of experiencing some things that either heal or help us become aware of anything that's out of alignment with the future. Okay. You also have Mercury, and when I thought of it's like I pinky swear, liar, especially just Casanova. But when I think about Mercury, like we have the Mercury retrograde, and then Mercury was doing something with Mars and Pisces. So as far as like the transits, it could be pushing some over the edge when it comes to irritation and or the behaviors that we just hadn't mastered overcoming or even become aware of. Like if I do a thing, it could be transits or triggers that highlight it, so I'm doing more of it. Like if I lie a lot, I might lie more. If I'm ashamed and hiding things about myself, what I like, what I do, situations might come up that make me deal with it, because the eternal child talks about like who we truly are. The destroyer and the shadow card talks about the things we hide or the things that are hidden. So if you're looking for, well, what are my gifts and abilities, my past life, what I'm supposed to be doing here, it's in the bottom of your heart. It's an inner knowing. Start there. Okay, so I thought that was pretty cool. Now the Gnostic is like this mystic sort of energy, but it just talks about an inner knowing and something that isn't supposed to be, so it's like kind of taboo. And this is in like the physical. So I was concerned when I saw the destroyer. I don't know if that's you or someone in the environment, but the eternal child and the destroyer, the destroyer sent like a situation or person or you, and sources says it's not you. Okay, cool. But this is a person, place, or thing that initiates what is next to come, and something was unnecessary to begin with. So if like I was the destroyer, I'm gonna destroy something. I'm gonna self-sabotage. I'm gonna be in savage mode. I'm gonna be out of my higher self. And if somebody else were to do that, they would do something similar to what I just said, but like to me or an environment where I witnessed it, that could trigger me. But it's like, why would somebody else's behavior trigger me when I could just like end it, leave it alone? I don't have to wait for them to tell me the truth, because intuitively my mind is telling me yes, right? Because the flame is giving me like the Ace of Wands, which is a yes. There's that. We also have like image, vision, how we see ourselves. And there's a need to get comfortable. And so that's sometimes like not easiest, especially when heightened homesickness is like in the air. It doesn't affect everyone, but I look at the comments and I'm around, I hear things. So that could be being magnified. And I'm glad that Venus is over here too, because we did a reading like last week, and Venus was kind of like holding Mars down when I used the astro cards or whatever. In the Venus card in that deck, she has him like around this inside of her, like keeping him contained or whatever. So I thought that was kind of cool. Now Spirit said that I was right when I said this, so I don't know who it's for. I ain't having it personally, but you can do whatever you want to do. When I was shuffling the cards and I got this whole message, and then I looked at the bottom and I was like, what do you want? And then I saw this and it was like to reach out. I was like, oh hell no. And then the empty room right there, it's like, oh, you bored, baby. Ain't nobody else filling them shoes. So good luck with that. But the more important message though, is just for the homesickness, the discomfort, and not feeling like at home, like even in your own space. A place to call home, some things that happen back home, taking a trip back home, or like some past life things, spiritual soul stuff. And then with the shadow work and the destroyer, and this situation where something ends because of our aggravation, our snapping, fears of the unknown, and like diving deep into the truth. It's just, that sounds like a lot for somebody, where we're hiding things about ourselves, but we're looking for the truth. That's crazy. No disrespect. Like, just imagine me. I'm hiding like who I am, what I do, what I like, because of people in my environment who could be folks that I've been around my whole life, who are a certain way, just like I'm a certain way, but I'm refraining from being my true self because of whatever reason. But I'm searching for the truth. And then like my own truth, I don't stand up for it. I don't support it. I don't live by it. I ain't gonna die by it. But I'm looking for the truth though, outside of me though, or from other people. So don't block me, but I'm being serious. When we kind of manifest situations and it's like we don't understand why, or it's like we don't deserve that, this is something I do. Nothing to do with you guys. I don't finger point or judge, but what I do and what I've learned through human behavior, psychology, tarot, sci-fi, Wi-Fi, a whole bunch of just years and years of rabbit holes and dots connecting and life experiences, I've seen that when some things happen in a certain area of your life, just make sure you're not doing it at all. So if I'm in a situation where I feel like all my relationships go the same, and I'm gonna blame it on a childhood trauma because it mimics one of my parents or something that, I don't know, it's a curse. Could be. I've heard of that. However, if I'm negligent to anything, I can't say nothing about attracting negligence. If I'm ghosting anything, I can't really say much about ghosting. So if I haven't completed a project, if I haven't lost the weight I've been talking about losing, if I'm not confident within myself, if I ain't washed the dishes last night, no, I'm just playing, but you get what I mean. So like if I let myself down in certain areas, but I overlook that because shit, I got reason for that. But others let us down, or not be honest, or ghost, or not commit, or we gotta figure that. I didn't say you have to deal with them, or that they was coming back, or that you should take them, but that's what I'm saying. That perspective alone, I feel, will help shift the energy to have a new reality and attract a like person who is accountable and taking action, or at least honest, and not beating themselves up about stuff that they ain't doing because you don't want to. Because if you did want to do it, you would do it, and you know that. So I always say, don't beat yourself up. If it's something that I'm just not doing, I promise you, it ain't that I give up, but I'll stop beating myself up like it's something that I have to do and I'm holding it against myself, because I know me. If it was for me right now, if I really wanted to do it, I would be doing something about it. And that's if I gain weight and I'm just fat, honey, I am happy. And I will lay down eating avocado rolls and take a nap. But I don't sit around saying, oh my God, look what I've become. I'm going to do something about it, or I'm just going to enjoy whatever got me that way. So it's a happier life that way. If I don't finish a course or a degree, or the garden I always wanted, I don't keep that in my subconscious as something I didn't complete, because I could attract more incomplete things. I'm cool. And it took a long time to get there, don't get me wrong. But I feel like that's necessary because of my level of intelligence and working with Source and God is Source, or whatever y'all into. It just helped me to reason, like, and rationalize and use my logic and my intelligence on how things make sense outside of what I feel about them. And the majority of this has a lot to do with self accountability, actions, truths, discovery, being pushed. You're going to be pushed, some of us, and that's the shadow work. But this is the destroyer crossing that, about to be thumped, and then there's the vision. So maybe you can see better, or it's just going to push you to the light. Somebody kind of dark too, and or afraid of the dark, and some of the truth is in darkness. A lot of it is there. I saw some of it, I'm not gonna lie. So it's like I say it all the time, everybody got their own journey. So I'm not like a know-all be-all or nothing like that. It could go however it's supposed to go for you, and I respect that and believe it. From my observation, there's no way that you can find the answer without taking a peek everywhere, because that's how small the crumbs are and how big that hand was that threw them all out. So if you just in this one corner, this one way, I guarantee you're gonna miss something. And you could block me, child, you could fight back on that, but I promise you. So I'm not like the devil's advocate or nothing like that. I'm just aware of how, once again, the breadcrumbs got thrown out there like this, and that will cover all these cards, right? So imagine if I wanted the whole truth, but I only resonated here. What about them crumbs over there? You know. So if I only resonated here, and I was scared of the light, I want to hang with I want it to be dark. That's cool too. But you made me some. So that's that on that. That's like the gist for the most part of it, because I have to go get it out before I lose my thought. And then I also thought that it was a beautiful thing, just from some things that I know about the guidebook interpretation. I'm gonna share that, but I ain't gonna hold y'all long, because we got some more treats. I got some new shipments in, some oracle cards. It's about to go down. Them picker cards gonna go hard. Okay, all kind of questions. You got past life, you got ancestors, career, love, toxic stuff, soul, star seeds, vampires and shit, whatever, witches and shit, whatever. Okay, so the shadow is the unwelcomed and the denied, and here's welcome. So y'all that's been hearing Pisces, you're gonna get an unexpected visitor. They just want to talk about the truth. It could be a phone call, but this person send you over the top all the time. Fuck all that. I mean, you do what you want. That slipped out. It talks about revealing unconscious aspects of yourself to the world, but when in shadow, denying unconscious aspects of yourself to the world. So I was like, damn. So then Venus over here, right? In a 4, like the Emperor. So he over here, he done shapeshift. Y'all heard about the story about the Emperor and the Empress? You should look that up. We're gonna talk about it one day. So he over here shapeshifting, right? That's probably the destroyer, because I'm wondering why Venus is coming in at 4 and the destroyer is 23. You ain't getting past me, buddy. Nope, it's not happening. So the destroyer is the unexpected, and see, again, this is the vision, this is the moving forward, this is the pulling up. Okay. The destroyer is also the final of the 3 archetypes in the trio of existence. So the final stage, an ending or some sort of transformation, or somebody could be in the final stages or dealing with final stages, communicating with spirit, or something in like the health field or whatever, because the Kundalini rising, but at the same time there's some like diminishment. It says that it's the part of us that wants things to end. The destroyer pulls the rug out from under our relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. It seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and the rest becomes history. So the destroyer fuck with people. Don't block me. This ain't for you. If it's not for you, don't get offended, please. But in my mind, what I just saw, and so I'm gonna say it sounds like the destroyer in this story, in this situation, in the past, wherever it falls, picks with people who are sabotaging themselves. Now, if that ain't for you, it ain't for you. But I just read this latest book. Y'all can't get upset with me. It pulls the rug from under relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. And then it also talks about the destroyer does not let us linger long in comforts, as it knows not much happens in that realm. So someone who's getting like comfortable and sleeping on themselves. Not, I don't think there's no divine entity or an entity that can fuck with me, that's just care that much about me to ruin my life. It could happen. I've had readings like in all my years of life where there's like it's dark energy around you, and I believe that because I got some dark ass ancestors that ain't got shit to do with me neither. But at the time, it could have been affecting me because of my lack of awareness, and me feeding into it some way or the other. Anywho, beside that, Y'all heard what it said. When you sleep on yourself, the destroyer come and be like, yeah, okay, sleeper, let me take this bed. Swift and precise blows that redirect our life. It talks about self-destruction, negativity, unwillingness to rebuild is what we got. And then right after that, in another deck, you have a 4. So I thought about 44 because this is for the eternal child and Venus. All different decks, but they're sharing a number. And the eternal child did come out with the orphan, and in this guidebook they right next to each other, so that's insane. I know the story in religious terms where, God, children, and the fool have a connection, right? So it's all good, because most people who resonate with orphan energy or star seeds are connected to the Ophiuchus, the 13th sign, and then you have the 13 right here. I don't miss a beat, which is the unseen. That's why they can't teach us about it in school, and we just stop at the number 12, because we teach them about 13. We teach them about something that ain't even supposed to be. So let it sound like a folklore. So anyway, the eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else. I bet. You better get off that couch though, because the destroyer is going to take the couch. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, it struggles being bound to any aging body with physical limitations. Oh my God, this is so like Pisces. This is so me. Like, nothing serious. I don't like restriction. For sure. The rules and responsibilities. Yeah, right? It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well. And I didn't I see the 4? I saw the, what the heck? Let me see if it's still right here. Hold on. Okay, that's 1. No, okay, I ain't gonna stretch it. It's this right by, yep. I saw 44 when I was shuffling. So I was like, this holding on, this preserving, the scarcity, the savage energy, and then here's that, the party and the 3 of Cups, because that came up too. I think like right closer to the end or something. Anyway, but there was this boredom, and there was this unnecessary, and then that kind of struck me as the people that could be going through some thoughts and not having any other distractions but to come back and try to get it right again after again and again. But cool, because I mean, ultimately, I don't know, the inner knowing might be in there this time. Anywho, this talks about being joyful, playful. It talks about all aspects of magic, and then it talks about adrift, burnt out, addicted, and selfish. So for some of us, when I see burnt out, that's why it's dark, because this burnt. So that's why the advice is to light the thing, and to light it, you got to go through the heart, through the center, and into the inner child, into spirit, into source, into the divine. Even for religious people, this gives me God, like the sun, and then Christ consciousness, the heart, the blue night. Gnostic is very mystic. It's a gray area. And then there's the flame, which connects me right back to source when I think about it. But depending on who you are, people hear flames and could think of the devil or something. So it's all crazy, but it goes straight through. And then as I say that, right next to it, here's that piercing thing, crossing the destroyer, when literally when we read it, it said it's just going to pierce, right? So it's like this gray truth. It's not a dark truth, but something is piercing. And when I said that, this looks so bright, like it flickered. And I know it didn't, because y'all looking at it, so don't think I'm tripping, but it's like out of my peripheral, this blue light flickered like a motherfucker. When I said piercing, It said boop in my eyeball. Anyways, yeah, so the flame burning out for some, it might reignite for others. It's different. It's a general reading. I can't do it like I would be able to do just something for you, but just get what resonates, or just sit, check it out with us. Maybe you can help somebody in the environment if you come across a situation that sounds like something I've said. Don't forget to hit the like button though. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, because I've been gone for a minute and y'all been pulling up. But if you can, please help support the channel. It's free. Just get me in the algorithm so it's not just me and you and this motherfucker watching it. Right? Just hit the like button for you, girl. Thank you. So the threshold is the door, the gates, and the initiation. So this is the invitation or the initiation into what's next. And you know it because this is in the conscious mind or the dream. Somebody wants to know what's next. Okay, so even if it isn't reality, there's an initiation of some part. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed, though. The part of us that got it all figured out, though. That's the ego of the four. That's the emperor energy. He got it figured out. And as is Scorpio, the emperor, the king of swords, and Scorpio all share the head. Different things though, for different reasons, but I thought that was interesting. Off with his head. Kill his shit once and for all. Burn him. Okay, hear me out. Like, come on. Y'all be watching the movies. Chill. Okay. I ain't gonna, like The Witch or whatever. It's some dark past, man. And I'm laughing, and I probably done had one of them. I done had dreams that either I watched way too much TV or I had some very interesting past lives. So I'm not laughing at anyone but myself, because I'm silly. And if you hang around me long enough, you'll know that I just do it. And I've apologized for it for like 5 years, and I'm not going to apologize anymore. We're going to get through it. I chuckle and I laugh, and it'll unfortunately be right after I said some super serious shit. I don't know. Maybe it's a disorder. Maybe I need to meditate and like transmute it. I don't know. All right, so we got that part down. It says the ground seems to crumble. So it's kind of like a tower energy, but it's not the tower. It's the situation that could create a tower. Being honest with you. And then while I was talking noise, looking at the Ace of Swords and the Ace of, the flame, it's giving me this communication from the divine to you, right? To get your life on track, or get the answers you're looking for. Yes. And yes, I'm speed talking through it because I'm trying to remember what I'm about to say about people who could be intellectually and physically attracted to somebody they meet in the future that they didn't expect. Is that the destroyer, or is it you? Because whoever the destroyer is, they been doing it. So, and I ain't trying to throw the new people under the bus when we got self-sabotager on the table at times. And everybody done self-sabotage shit. Even if you were supposed to, even if they made you, right? They pushed your buttons and you told them. Told that shit up, right? You knocked all that shit over. Yep. So Gnosis is in the center, the heart of it all. And it says, innermost knowing. It's the mystic truth. So here's the truth and here's the mystic truth. And somebody's about to be invited into the dark side shit, but it's a little light on, like the hermit. The hermit ain't never been in no bright ass car with clouds and harps and shit, right? That's the shaman. You ever seen the hermit and with wings on, eating grapes, with angels and harps and bright lights and pretty colors? Ever? No. Okay. Well, it says, rather Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetype of wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. That's sexy. It's kind of cool. Those who are drawn to Gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. And it's a transit that's transiting right now that's amplifying science. That's why I said the Arcturians and their constellation and all that kind of stuff is happening right now. So there's that, for whatever it's worth. Somebody might be into that kind of thing. Maybe it already happened. I know it was something going on. It was, check it out. I did a reading on it. But this card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Is this the second card that talked about life-changing? Because this was life-changing. And now this one life-changing. They right next to each other. So in the past, something was life-changing. In the present, something is life-changing. So I can't wait to see what the vision says. This card signifies a knowing that it's life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of the Gnosis. Because you can't unknow it. It says, study your passion in the deepest way available to you. Here's the passion. Because somebody keep quitting. The Knight of Cups, he be quitting. Because he like it, he love it, he want to do it. But all the other stuff that could come along around the journey, it could fuck with them feelings. So jump in that cup. There's some shadow in that cup. See what I'm saying? So it's a person in the past, a part of you from the past, or a situation from the past got some shadow in the cup. Yep. And then I did see over here the Knight of Pentacles. So this is definitely about actually crossing the finish line. But this Knight of Cups crossing the finish line, it's like it's gonna kill him. No, I'm just playing. It's gonna change him, because the Knight of Cups went from the Knight of Cups to the Knight of Pentacles. That's why I said there could be an awakening or a change in the situation, you or this person, where they was like on some not so real serious shit, some kiki kaka shit, and then now it's a slow progress of possibly being committed and practical or crossing the finish line, like actually getting through the project or actually getting into something of substance, actually turning in their homework and going to a class more than 3 months, which was dope. That is a transformation, and that does mean an old part of that night is dead, baby, for good reason. So we move down to the subconscious, where the truth is. So in the back of your mind, whoever, if they ain't left yet, because I notice I be watching the screen when I do the premiere, I say some things, baby, and people tear their ass, and I be like, y'all think tarot a game? Or it could just not resonate, but I always intuitively know. Like, I'll say something and I don't want to say it, but that's my job. So I was like, I've got higher ups over here that are over me. They high up, like the other dimensions. And so if a human is like, oh, I don't fuck that, that's you on your own. So yep, that's the parts that don't leave. If it stings, that's where the work starts. If it don't apply to you, I respect that. So anyway, the sword down here talks about cutting through what is essential. It also talks about hasty backstabbing and a painful blade. And who said that they was gonna come with a painful blade? See, this person. Watch that, child. We're gonna talk about that another time. I'm not trying to ruin these people's spiritual journey message with that. It also talks about an onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is honesty, swiftness, and accuracy. And I agree. My personal opinion, based on my relationship with God, I ain't speaking for God, but until you talk to God and God tell you I'm wrong, you can't tell me I'm wrong. Because you got to talk to God first, and for real talk to God, not say you talking to God because you speaking out loud. I'm talking about seriously. Okay, now my Aquarius moon coming out. My point is, based on my observation, authenticity supersedes any of that other stuff. I follow the rules. I don't break the commandments. All that shit. Nope. And what made that make sense for me is having a relationship with God for real. And I was like an adult like 2 years ago, like last year, when I found out the whole story of what Moses was supposed to be and how Moses did all that work and still couldn't go to heaven. You know why? That shadow work, like who Moses was deep down inside. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm right. Because my observation and teeny tiny 2 cent don't matter personal opinion based on actually meeting God is that honesty supersedes a lot of things. So some people could be dark, some people could be doing shit that get them locked up on this planet or make you hate them. But if they honest at the least about who they are and what they doing, and their feelings are true and their thoughts are true and everything is in alignment, baby, that's more admirable than the most passive aggressive saint you could ever meet. And I kid you not, but keep having birthdays. So that was important for me to like do shadow work, because I wanted to be clear of bullshit. Like, I didn't want to bullshit my own self, because I wouldn't stand up anymore for other people bullshitting me or life bullshitting me. So that means you can't bullshit your own self, or else it's a universal algorithm that you ain't gonna be able to defeat. If you bullshit your own self, subconsciously, passive aggressive, what is this other word? And not in denial, but you know, somebody who just know damn well, but they'll never admit it. Just weird shit. Throw chakra all off, right? You can fix it. Meditate and be honest, because we all had our day. I mean, I'm a Pisces. Hello. I'm talking to us, not you guys. But anyway, it took that. It took me loving God. It took me realizing God was real, to say, oh, so I can't keep my bullshit to myself and like argue with everybody and not listen to nobody, and you know, all of those silly shit we all do, knowing damn well type deal. Yeah. So there's that here. And then here's this there. And it's moving on over, right? For everybody that's left, it's y'all energy though. Don't hate me, because I would love to pull out some butterfly cards and talk about abundance and shit all the time. Then people get mad and be like, that's not how I feel. That's not what I'm going through. And I be like, okay. All right. Because I do like a bright side and a pretty card. That's just me. But here lately, I don't know what the fuck these transits are doing. It's a mix of, ooh, Pisces, work hard, plant those seeds. It's going to pay off in the future. Pisces, doors is opening, people getting apartments, moving in together, new relationships are being formed. And then everybody's on a different cycle. So some of us could be in a position of awakening. Some of us could be in a position of purge. Some of us can be in a position of like realization, or getting our ass kicked for not realizing when the card said this is a favorable time to do this and you didn't do that. And now 6 months later, here we are. So then, and I don't know where I fall. If anybody wondering, I never talk shit. I could sound like I'm talking shit, but I'm not. This is where I talk to babies this way. This is just how I talk. And I could be one of them, miss some shit, ignore some shit, like didn't do some shit. I could be. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm probably not. Because I'm self-aware, and sometimes my problem is being overly conscious. Some people need consciousness, right? And then some people are like overly conscious to where it could be crippling, like that 8 of Swords. So yeah, nobody's innocent really. The flame over here talks about the fire. I think it's the energy for some of us that may have lost energy, desire, or aspiration and inspiration. It says, think of this card as a call to reignite that flame. Something you hold sacred to your heart, something connected to our purpose, and sense that life is a sacred gift. That's for the homesickness. That's for the what the fuck phases and cycles. That's for a lot. I mean, because if somebody coming back and you want to forgive them, you're going to have to do something about that feeling that they left you with that was real, to not self-sabotage the relationship and really despise them and resent them and be hard to deal with. So, yep. And then if you know it's time to let this shit go, self-love and being strong and holding your chin up. Gotta do that, which means you're gonna have to get some hobbies and do some other shit to keep your mind off of that, so it'll burn out. Go do something. Then we have the vision, one of my favorite cards. It talks about the imagined. Now that's funny. We have image, imagined. I knew that was gonna happen because I don't argue with religious people, but I'm a theology major. So when people like, we were made in his image. And I was like, well, the flame represent imagination. It's like the fire is creation. It's like thought. Imagine that, motherfucker. That Aquarius in me start coming out. But the Pisces in me, I don't know. It could be one of the two. Because I think Aquarius and Pisces both are pretty articulate. And got a way with words. Okay. So, yeah, the vision is the reveal, though. Something to be revealed by this goddamn destroyer here. I bet. And an aspect of you that you probably ain't seen or whatever. But it also talks about an actual vision. It talks about it slips away, yet it guides. It appears in strange dreams and surreal images, seemingly unattainable and preposterous. And, unattainable, the high priestess. Some of y'all, they got this situationship with this person and some kind of spiritual connection to them at the same time. That could be the one. They're going through some shadow work while you then lit the flame with spirit. They trying to understand who the fuck they are and grow up, because they childish, coming from the child to the night. They trying. But I think you're just closer with spirit. And this mountain over here where the gods are, like shit, on some hermit shit. That's also an answer for some others of us to go within. It ain't outside of us, whatever your question is. The vision we carry, an inspired, enchanted aliveness that others recognize. We trust the world and its synchronicities. And this is the second time that came up. So watch for signs and synchronicities in the near future. It talks about emitting energy more potent than any elixir. Yum. When we lose connection to the vision, life becomes dull and exhausting. So dull and exhausting, burnt out. All right. So then, yeah, we got the vision. And like I said, it's just back home. It also talks about those of us that are hiding things within ourselves because of what others said from the time you was growing up to yesterday. You're different, possibly, or beyond the social norm. Maybe you spiritual, maybe you Gnostic, maybe you're a witch, maybe I don't know. But they might have had something to say, and it would be beneficial if you take a look at how you feel about that now, right? I don't know how it may have transpired over the years, but for some of us it turned into wounds, right? And so maybe now we are going to assess whether or not we continue to allow those what do you call something that turned into a wound? Those cuts, we're going to allow them to cut. If we're going to keep accepting wounds, or what we doing. You see how I caught myself? See, I was about to go all auntie bonds or whatever, but nope. Your choice. Lastly, okay, we got Mercury and the Great Serpent, and Mercury comes in with the number 3. So that's nice. Still crossing this 23. So that's interesting. And this 4. That's interesting. And I don't know why, but the Son of Cups is giving me 12. I don't know why. Because it's like the hangman and the cord being cut from the disaster itself type deal. Don't beat me up. Signals. Oh, I told you, look, signals, messages, and tricks. Be mindful. I mean, unless they got come with a cup. If it's a trick, I prefer a treat. I don't know. In the realm of Mercury, anything is possible. The energy is transfixing and seductive. Yeah, I told y'all. That Knight of Cups right there. Just like the metal itself, since the planet rules commerce and communication, it's likely there are deals, contracts, and calls being exchanged that will spin you into a world of mercurial wonder. Don't rush big decisions or get caught in the mesmerizing energy. Rather pay particular attention to the precise words that are being spoken and written. There may be a trick underway. Maybe not. No one is sure yet. It is said that the energy of Mercury is found in the pinky finger, and that its ally is green. Enjoy your time in this emerald hall of mirrors. Just don't sign your name on the dotted line until what is liquid becomes solid. Okay? Until you get that, until the check clear, is what my people would say, until the ink dry. That is what I have, and I do hope that it helps. For more information on products and services, visit PiscesTV.com.